This is a real favela. Previously on Oskar and Dan.
Today we're in
Rio!
What even is this place?
If you look out at the beautiful view, you can pretend you're alone with nature.
It's so good to see you again. Alright, today is a bit gloomy, but look at this. It's Sunday, so they've opened up the main road here for pedestrians. And it's completely car-free. How amazing is that? Alright, we are ready to say goodbye to the 5-star luxury of this hotel.
No.
Okay, actually, update, we're not ready.
So our breakfast spot is right here. Like literally the most touristy place we could have breakfast, but it's a really lovely touristy place because the view doesn't get better than this. The irony is that everyone we've told we're coming to Rio, they're like, oh, be careful. You notice the danger. It must be so dangerous. And yes, parts of the city are probably like that. But here in Copacabana, it's just as relaxed as you would be anywhere in Europe, anywhere in North America. It's such a nice vibe. Everyone is friendly. Only in Brazil. So Brazil.
Getting an Uber so we can go to the Museum of the Future, I think it's called.
We're usually not super into museums, but this does sound interesting. Okay, so on this side, yeah, we're usually not super into museums, but this does sound interesting because it's more like future oriented rather than history oriented.
And it was built for the Olympics in 2016.
Yeah, and the weather isn't like perfect today, so it's a good day for a museum. To the museum. It is busy here, but what a nice location even this is. We went from one beach to another beach, but here we also see a bridge with the mountains in the background. Everywhere you go here is just so beautiful. This almost looks like, I don't know, Denmark I'm feeling with this and this, or San Francisco. Either Copenhagen or San Francisco.
And look at the museum, guys. How cool is this building?
Going in. So cool. One of our favorite books of all time is Sapiens, so we hope this is like a museum form of that book. Look at this. We can personalize our experiences.
Let's explore this museum.
Time for show.
This is my favorite part of the museum.
It's pretty cool.
Let's get comfortable. It's a little like airy. I don't know how to describe it.
It's filled with air, so when Oskar puts his head down, I fly up.
He's like, I hate to be that person, but I feel like this is more of like a cool looking exhibition than something where you actually learn things of value. Like it doesn't really go into detail about anything, which is a shame, I think.
I just want food right now. Right by this museum is something else that's fun that we're gonna go see now. It's just a few blocks away. The birthplace of Samba. Samba Lulek. No. Samba the dance. Lovely walking street with these trams. There's trams in Rio. Beautiful place out here. Oh my god, Rio Shore.
Sure.
Oh my god, Ron, stop. You're traumatizing me.
Except here it's like round.
No, gente.
No, change.
This place is pretty happening.
It's popping.
Wow.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
I love how 1 second it was peaceful, and now we're in like the most lit place ever.
So the samba, the world famous dance that everyone knows Brazil for, was born here in Pedra do Sal. And every Monday in the crazy square where we just were, they do like a whole samba dance fest. And it's for free for anyone to join.
We found lunch. Vegan acarajé. Yes, vegan. We love it. We just walked into this big, dark, seemingly abandoned building, but there seems to be stores on every floor. It's a very confusing thing. This is quite the adventure.
I think this is it.
Yes. Wait, oh, we don't know. This is definitely not it. This is so random.
The search continues. Alright. What is this place?
And we found it. Wow, interesting. That was crazy.
I'm very glad we got to walk around here though. Seems to have been claimed by the hip and cool people.
Alright.
Let's dig in.
Delivery is here. Woo.
We got dinner.
We're not in France, but
We got pokey.
this is the grande. This is not so big.
Well, this isn't grande, this is grungy. Wait, that's what we're watching? I want to watch the morning show.
You said something funny.
No, something enjoyable is what I meant. Well, Curb Your Enthusiasm is also enjoyable, but I was more in the mood for something with a plot.
No, we must watch it.
We are so excited today because we are going on a favela tour.
Which sounds, you know, it's a sensitive topic, but it's going to be very interesting and educational.
I'm very excited to just learn more about it, and I think we might have some flashbacks to when we visited Comuna 13 or Comuna 13 in Medellin in Colombia.
Yeah, you should check out our vlog from there. It's one of our first.
We learned a lot from that experience, and I'm hoping that today is going to be similar.
We're meeting up with our guides now, and it's just starting to rain a little bit, so we're like, no.
All our like city tours in Brazil have been cursed with bad weather. It rained on us in Sao Paulo as well when we did our city tour, but it's fine. We brought rain jackets this time.
So it's very interesting to see a favela since it's such a famous slum. I mean, the word favela is pretty much known globally.
To be fair, we don't really know too much about the history just yet, and that's why we're going on this tour. But all we know right now is that they are informal communities and that they have been neglected by politicians, and that has resulted in high levels of crime and instability. Also, perhaps in a positive side that I hope we're going to get to see in terms of perhaps like artistic expression or other things like that.
One single trip to Brazil, and finally 2 different Brazils.
This was our tour guide Carlos, a resident of Rocinha, the largest favela in the country.
The favela we know from the meat in general, forget about it, because today we're gonna know about a favela from an insider, not from an outsider.
He was so passionate about showing foreigners around his neighborhood and providing a more nuanced picture of favelas than people will see in the news.
I live in the top of the favela because my ex-wife lives in the bottom. Don't call my name loud, don't say. I don't want to talk. Call me Michael.
His biggest wish, however, was that more Brazilians would visit the favelas.
And if Brazilians know favelas or not, we exist. Just like a city in the sea.
Also, a quick disclaimer before we continue. We're not here to preach about the favelas, we're just going to show our own honest and raw experience going on an organized tour here, sharing our thoughts and reactions along the way.
So this is the biggest favela in all of South America, where half the population, 80,000 people, live off $16 a month. as a family.
One of the most striking aspects about the favelas is just the insane disparities of wealth right next door to each other. In order to get here to Rocinha, we had to drive through one of Rio's most upscale neighborhoods where you can buy apartments for like 25 million reais, and then just crossing the little border into the favela, all of a sudden you have families living off of $16 a month. Thinking about those disparities is just absolutely mind-boggling. Just continue. Oh, I think we're gonna get a good view.
The favelas first started developing after the Brazilian government promised freedom to slaves who joined the army.
So they promised the black slaves from Africa, if you help Brazil to fight against Paraguay, we're gonna give you freedom.
These mainly black slaves were primarily from the state of Bahia, where the native favela tree grows.
When the war was over and the first free slaves moved south to Rio, they nicknamed the hill they settled on Favela Hill. And so the name stuck as hundreds of similar neighborhoods started popping up in cities around Brazil.
Rocinha is completely self-sufficient. They have banks here, they have all the shops they need here. This is by far the cheapest acai I've seen so far. Apparently they shot Fast and Furious 5 down here. So even within the neighborhoods, they have classifications of different levels of wealth, which is usually determined by how close you live to the main road. We started in the A class, as it's called. Now we just walked through the B class, and now we're heading towards Class C, which is supposedly the most impoverished parts of the favela.
But I'm here to compare the gap. After all, this is my Brazil.
A pretty different take on the Last Supper pizza boxes. Quick stop at this bar where they apparently make the best caipirinhas, allegedly, in all of Brazil.
Give me the camera, I'm gonna take a picture of you later.
Okay.
Okay, let's get a review.
Can't exactly say we're the biggest drinkers, but
You can't say we didn't live life.
it's good.
So we're now walking through Area C, which is the lowest level of the favela. About 70% is like this.
The alleyways are like crazy narrow. You almost have to squeeze your way through. There's cables everywhere. It's a very intimate kind of hill.
It's the middle of the day, but for all we know, it could be night because there's basically no natural light down here. That was pretty interesting.
All the buildings were basically on top of each other.
Yeah.
I was going to say follow my ass, but you know what? Last week I said follow my ass, and there was a lady from England. She said, Carlos, your ass is so skinny.
So much acai. After Brazil, 3 weeks here, we have 2 new obsessions, Guaraná and acai. Dancing.
I know that we're in the biggest favela in South America, but it's not that different from just any other type of neighborhood you'd see in, say, like Southeast Asia or even in South Korea where we live. Obviously, the situation might be very different. The political and the social situation has very many different facets here that aren't present there. But you know, just from an outsider's perspective, looking at the neighborhood visually, it's not as extreme as a lot of media make it out to be.
Walked
from all the way up there, all the way from the top down here. And our guide is saying, good job.
We took one last opportunity to ask Carlos what his message to the world about the favelas would be.
My message about favelas?
Yeah.
Favela is a place, in this planet. But it's the same human beings like we are. It's people like us in each part of the planet. The societies organize themselves in different ways. That's how Brazil is. But I still wish the best for it. Maybe not in my generation, maybe not in my kids' generation, but one day it's gonna happen. Look how we were before. Germany, Scandinavia, whatever countries. We all had our moments. Human being is made to progress.
Yeah.
We are gods.
Enjoy your beer.
Bye.
Alright, I wish we would have gone a bit deeper, that we would have gotten to talk to more locals, that we would have gotten to see even more than we did. But it is what it is. At least we got to see a taste of what the other side of Brazil, a very real side, is like. Getting our last acai in Brazil.
So sad. This is our favorite thing. We'll be back for acai.
Because we are basic like that. Okay, so we're leaving Brazil on a quite gloomy day, but that doesn't eclipse how amazing these 3 weeks have been.
We can't wait to come back to Brazil.
Obrigado, Brazil. It's been amazing. Can't wait to come back.
Thank you so much for following our trip around Brazil. If you're one of those people who've watched every video in this series, thank you and muito obrigado for your interest and support. We hope you've enjoyed learning more about Brazil with us, or if you're Brazilian, that you've enjoyed seeing two gringos exploring your home country.
Our next series of vlogs will be from our emotional trip to Thailand, one of our favorite countries, which we of course hadn't been able to visit for the last 2 years. We hope you stick around for our upcoming videos, and until we see you next time, see you around the world.